Act, whereas Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Therefore, be it resolved that the Madison County School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by the Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which the certification applies, and only such public business matters were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
We have a motion. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Patterson, will you call roll, please?
Mr. Martins?
I certify.
Mr. Sheeds?
I certify.
Mr. Wingate?
I certify.
Mrs. Wood?
I certify.
Mrs. Collier?
I certify. Okay, we invite you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Is it behind? Oh, it's over here. It's behind.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, our next agenda item is to approve the May 12th, 2025 personnel matters to include appointments, resignations, retirements, substitute appointments, Camp Unikite summer staff, and summer school staff as presented. I'll open the floor for that motion.
I make a motion for approval of personnel matters and addendum for May 12th, 2025 to include appointments, resignation, retirements, substitute appointments, Camp Unikite summer staff, and summer school staff as presented.
We have a motion. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Mr. Sheeds, can you read the next motion, please?
Yes, ma'am. I move that in recognition of Mrs. Graham's exemplary performance and with her concurrence, the board terminate her current appointment and agreement effective June 30, 2025, and simultaneously reappoint and employ her for a new term of 4 years as division superintendent beginning July 1, 2025, and ending June 30, 2029, and direct and authorize the chair to execute the employment contract on behalf of the board according to the terms and conditions agreed to by the parties.
We have a motion. We need a second.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Ms. Graham, will you come sign your 4-year contract, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Just say something real quick. I just want to say congratulations to Ms. Graham, and also we're going to approve in a second. It's a bunch of new teachers, and I think I kind of look back on the last couple of years, and I think the board all agree we're talking about earlier. Really a strong administrative team, some really strong teachers. I'm really excited about just the quality of people that children in Madison County are being educated by. And so, and Ms. Graham is part of that. Just want to thank her and thank her team, Dr. Jones, for all the good hiring and the leaders I feel like the schools are in good hands in that way. So I just want to commend her and all of the people that work with her to teach children. So thank you very much.
One more round of applause. This is the most important thing that the school board will do, is hire the superintendent. So this is a good thing, and we are so glad that you chose Madison. Okay. The next agenda item is to approve, approve the consent agenda for May the 12th, 2025 as presented. I'll open the floor for that motion.
A motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, so now we get to do the fun stuff. And we start with the Senior of the Month.
Good evening.
Pull that mic up some. We can't hear you.
Sandra, come on up.
I don't know that it's on.
Yeah.
Test it again, Lisa.
Sandra,
There we go.
sorry.
We got a mic now.
Sandra, with me. We are happy to introduce Xander Bryant as our May Senior of the Month. All of Xander's teachers are in agreement that he is an exceptional, highly motivated student. He is a talented writer who submits beautiful pieces that are a joy to read. In addition, he can always be counted on to show leadership in the classroom. When a classmate is struggling, Xander is the first student to volunteer to partner with them or help in any way he can. He always brings a positive, helpful attitude into the classroom and is always the voice of encouragement to everyone around him. He is eager to learn and has chosen a career path where this will be a necessary attribute. Xander is planning to enter a career in the healthcare industry and has taken the necessary steps here at MCHS by taking the Nursing Assistant 1 and Nursing Assistant 2 and was presently enrolled in the Patient Care Technician course, which includes an EKG technician certification. In these courses, his integrity, intelligence, and aptitude for the medical sciences impressed Ms. Kemp significantly. She also shared that he is the kind of student who will go above and beyond what is required of him. Because of these characteristics, she knew that she could trust him and help his fellow students when needed. He is currently studying for his EMT certification outside of school time and has volunteered many hours towards this goal. He has enlisted in the Navy with the hopes of possibly becoming a corpsman or medic in order to pursue a career in the medical science field. Wherever he chooses to study, work, or live, those communities will forever be enriched by his presence. I present to you Xander Bryant, May Senior of the Month.
Congratulations. Oh, more pictures.
We would also like to thank his family and friends and go ahead and congratulate him for choosing to serve our country. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, our next celebration is the Teachers and Support Staff Members of the Year Award. And Ms. Jones, Dr. Jones?
Yes, thank you. All right, good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this special evening as we recognize some of the most dedicated and impactful individuals in our school division. Tonight, we celebrate the incredible contribution of our support staff members and teachers of the year from each of our schools and from our transportation department. And then later, we will honor the division-wide support staff member and teacher of the year. And we're going to start with the support staff members of the year from each school. Each principal is going to introduce their support staff member of the year and share a few words about the nominee's impact. And we're going to start with Madison Primary, Mr. Coiner.
I'm proud to present Mrs. Christina Sakovich as the Support Staff of the Year for Madison Primary School. Christina, can you join me? Christina's dedication and support for our students are evident in all that she does at MPS. You might find her helping students with their breakfast each morning or encouraging them to have a great day. Or you might see her working with our preschool students to support fine and gross motor development, while at the same time providing our PK teachers with valuable common planning time. You might even see her assisting students with dismissal, ensuring that each child is safely delivered to his or her destination. While Christina fills many roles for us at MPS, none have been more important and impactful than her work as a reading interventionist. Christina provides additional reading support for over 75 students each day, teaching small groups of students across 3 grade levels. Students love their time with Mrs. Sakovich, and the growth that these students have demonstrated throughout the course of the year has been remarkable. That comes as no surprise, as Christina collaborates closely with our school's reading specialists and has been tireless in her efforts to provide students with the best instruction possible. No matter the job, Christina puts her heart and soul into her work. Few schools have the good fortune of having someone in this position who is not only adept at providing instructional services, but one who understands the importance of building supportive relationships with students. We are so happy to have Christina as a part of our MPS family, and she is so deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, Christina.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce again to you Mrs. Brittany Fincham. If you would come forward. Today, I have the incredible honor to once again recognize someone whose work may not always be in the spotlight, but whose impact shines brightly in every classroom, hallway, and heart of our school. Our Waverly Owl Support Person of the Year, Mrs. Brittany Fincham. This award goes to someone who is an essential member of our special education program, a steady and compassionate presence who helps make learning accessible, inclusive, and meaningful for every student she supports. Mrs. Fincham is the kind of person who gives 100%, not because it's expected, but because she cares that deeply. Whether assisting with instruction, providing behavioral support, or simply being a calming, consistent presence for students navigating a complex world, she does it all with patience, empathy, and an unwavering belief in every child's potential. Our students thrive because Mrs. Fincham sees their strengths, sometimes even before they see them themselves. She knows when to offer help, when to encourage independence, and when to simply listen. That intuition and heart can't be taught. It's a gift, and we're incredibly lucky that Mrs. Fincham shares it with our school every single day. Mrs. Fincham also works closely with our teachers, building bridges and ensuring that support is truly a team effort. She is the quiet glue that holds so much together, and she does it with grace, professionalism, and a deep sense of purpose. So today we take a moment to shine the light back on someone who so often puts others first. We celebrate the care, the effort, and the countless unforeseen acts of kindness and support that make all the difference. Please join me in recognizing our 24-25 Waverly Gal Support Person of the Year, Mrs. Brittany Fincham.
Good evening. All right, if I could get Mrs. Terry Weaver to please come join me up here. It is with great pride and admiration that we recognize Mrs. Terry Weaver as Wetzel Middle School's Support Staff of the Year. Terry exemplifies what it means to serve with heart, dedication, and excellence in everything she does. She's the quiet engine that keeps our school running smoothly and the warm spirit that brings us all together. Terry's work ethic is nothing short of extraordinary. Whether it's managing detailed bookkeeping or tackling the endless logistical puzzles of scheduling and coordinating substitutes, she does it all with precision, efficiency, and a calm, can-do attitude that inspires everyone around her. But Terry's contributions go far beyond the tasks of her to-do list. She's the heart of our front office, bringing warmth, comfort, and creativity to every corner she touches. Her decorating talents make our shared spaces feel cheerful and inviting, and her famous home-cooked meals have a way of turning even the busiest days into something special. Through these simple but powerful acts, Terry fosters a true sense of family here at Wetzel. What makes her truly exceptional is her selflessness. She consistently puts the needs of our school and her colleagues before her own, often staying late or stepping in without hesitation to ensure that everything continues to run smoothly. Her intuition, foresight, and unwavering commitment make her an irreplaceable part of our team. Terry, your kindness, creativity, and tireless dedication have not gone unnoticed. You bring light to our school community every single day. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. You're truly one of a kind, and we're so lucky to have you. Thank you.
At this time, would Kaylee Ruth Pearson please join me? We are happy and pleased to announce Kaylee Ruth as our support staff person for Madison County High School. Kaylee Ruth is no stranger to most, as she wears many hats in her efforts to serve both the students and staff of Madison County High School. Kaylee Ruth is the facilitator of our in-school suspension classroom, but she does far more than facilitates. She works one-on-one with students on their classwork while they are with her. She works to build positive relationships with them by talking with them about their actions that brought them to her room, and then together discussing ways that the situation could have been handled more positively. Whether she is covering a classroom, filling in for Ms. Farmer in the front office, helping a student build a car out of cardboard box for his Halloween costume, or popping popcorn for that principal who had the idea to serve students at a circus-themed lunch. She is always willing to help out whenever she can. Kaylee Ruth also works with the Mini Mountaineers Drama Club, made up of our primary and elementary school students. Her commitment and dedication to this program have aided in the group putting on some amazing performances for our schools and community alike. Kaylee Ruth's willingness to be flexible is an asset to MCHS, and we are beyond happy and proud to call her family as part of our staff. I present to you Ms. Kaylee Ruth Pearson. I'm not sure how that would.
So I brought my own speech, but it's going to be a little lengthy. No, just kidding. Can I have Denise Herman up here? So Denise is an employee of the Transportation Department. She is the backbone of our office and continuously works to find solutions to safely transporting students to and from school and also to all their activities. She has faced the shortage of the bus drivers this year with grace and can-do attitude. If there is a way to cover a field trip or sporting event for students, Denise will find a way. It's a pleasure to work with her every day. And she's the backbone and the heart of it. Thank you.
So it is now my honor, and there's so many people that could have received this award, but we have one to name someone the Division's Support Staff Member of the Year, and that's going to go to someone whose dedication to safely transporting students, her reliability, her organization, and her team-first spirit have made her an essential part of our school community. So come back up here, Denise Herman.
Just before Anna, Denise, I know it's been a hard year with lots of shortages and things. Thank you very much for all your efforts to get the children here safely to schools. It is it's easy to not say thank you about enough, but it's certainly not forgotten by the board. And so thank you very, very much.
So now each principal is going to come up and announce their school's Teacher of the Year, and then we'll announce the Division Teacher of the Year. We'll start with the primary school. Mr. Coiner.
I'm honored to present Dr. Desiree Van Hoven as the Madison Primary School Teacher of the Year. Desiree? In only her second year with us at MPS, Desiree has established herself as a dynamic instructional leader and one who is a driving force behind our school's ability to provide a cohesive and effective reading program for our students. As the reading specialist at MPS, Desiree shoulders considerable responsibility. She collaborates with teachers at all grade levels to support the consistent implementation of our school-wide curriculum. She facilitates and encourages the school-wide use of evidence-based instructional strategies in reading by providing professional development opportunities for faculty and staff. She oversees our tiered reading intervention program, directing the implementation of curriculum at 2 support levels and providing targeted instruction for those students who demonstrate the need. She leads monthly data discussions with teachers aimed at identifying the specific needs of each child, then assist them in developing a plan for success. While all of these things define Desiree as a reading specialist of the highest order, it's the person that she is that helps to define her as our Teacher of the Year. If you have ever attended one of our family nights at MPS, you likely saw Desiree helping out. She's the head coach of the JV girls soccer team at MCHS and directs a Girls on the Run group each school year. You might have even seen her directing traffic at MPS from time to time. Indeed, Desiree is intelligent and energetic, but it is her heart, her desire to make a positive impact on young people that truly defines her. Thank you, Desiree, for sharing your love and expertise with all of us at MPS, and congratulations on this much-deserved recognition.
I'd like to invite Mrs. Rebecca Lewis to the front, please. As I was preparing for the evening, Ms. Lewis was emailing me multiple times. What do I need to do? Should I prepare something? No, just bring yourself and we're honoring you. It is truly an honor to stand before you today to recognize one of the most compassionate, dedicated, and impactful educators in our school community, our Waverly Owl Elementary Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Rebecca Lewis. Teaching is never just about academics. It's about seeing every child for who they are, believing in their potential even on the hardest days, and walking beside them with patience, creativity, and resilience. And when it comes to special education, those qualities are not just admirable, they're essential. This year's honoree embodies all of that and more. Mrs. Lewis approaches each day with a heart full of empathy and a mind focused on possibilities. Whether tailoring lessons to meet unique learning needs, collaborating with families and support staff, or celebrating the smallest victories that mean the world, she reminds us that every child deserves to be seen, heard, and valued. What stands out most about Mrs. Lewis is the quiet strength and unwavering commitment she brings to her classroom. There are no shortcuts in this work, only countless hours of preparation, persistence, and love. And somehow, she still finds times to lift up others, collaborating with colleagues, contributing to school initiatives, and bringing positivity to every hallway and meeting. The impact Mrs. Lewis has made on students, families, and our entire school cannot be measured by test scores or reports. It shows in the confident smiles of children who feel understood. It echoes in the gratitude of parents who know their child is safe and supported. It lives in the hearts of colleagues who are inspired to do better because of the example she sets. So today we celebrate not only an outstanding educator, but also a true advocate, leader, and difference maker. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis, for everything you do. You remind us all what it means to teach with purpose and lead with love. Please join me in congratulating the 24-25 Waverly Owl Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Rebecca Lewis.
It is a great privilege to stand before you tonight to celebrate and honor an educator who exemplifies the very best of what it means to teach, to lead, and to inspire. Wetzel Middle School's 2025 Teacher of the Year, Mr. Patrick Jennings. Mr. Jennings is more than just a teacher. He's a mentor, a coach, a leader, and a builder of confidence and community. Currently teaching 8th grade and Algebra 1, Mr. Jennings brings energy and clarity to mathematics, a subject that can often feel intimidating. But in his classroom, students don't just learn math, they grow to believe they can learn math. His approach makes challenging content accessible and even fun, and his students rise to the occasion with confidence. But Mr. Jennings' impact doesn't just stop at the classroom door. He dedicates his lunch hours to tutoring sessions, giving students one-on-one support they need to thrive. He serves as a peer mentor and has done so faithfully since 2020, always willing to guide and support fellow educators. As the mathematics department chair, he leads with purpose and collaboration. His commitment to enriching student experiences goes even further through his work at Camp Udenkite. There, he designs and delivers interactive hands-on STEM lessons that engage students in learning while fostering essential collaboration and communication skills. His leadership in this program doesn't just support academics, it builds community and character, and he's played a key role in recruiting peer role models to support younger students along the way. Mr. Jennings also brings his dedication and passion to the athletic fields. From 2016 to 2024, he coached middle and JV basketball. Since 2017, he's led our middle and high school cross-country teams, and in 2023, he added track assistant coach to his already impressive list of roles. Through every practice and competition, he teaches students perseverance, teamwork, and how to push past their limits, lessons that echo back into the classroom. In addition, Mr. Jennings is a co-educator for the Mad Minds Enrichment Program, working with students across all grade levels to expand learning beyond the textbook. Whether it's a new STEM challenge or a group project, he is always ready to help students think bigger, go further, and grow bolder. However, perhaps the most telling evidence of Mr. Jennings' impact comes from the voices of those who know him best, his students and their families. One parent described him as inspiring, impactful, caring, empathetic, engaging, and encouraging. Another shared how her children feel capable, cared for, appreciated, and valued in his classroom. And one student put it best, Mr. Jennings shows up daily, no matter what, with a smile and energy. For the past 2 years, he has helped his Algebra 1 students achieve a 100% pass rate on their SOLs, an achievement that reflects not just his teaching skills, but his belief in every student's potential. Mr. Jennings, your work is extraordinary, not because you do so much, but because you do it all with heart, humility, and an unwavering belief in your students. You see them not just for who they are, but for who they can become. You are helping shape the future, one student, one lesson, and one relationship at a time. On behalf of our entire school community, congratulations, and thank you for being the teacher every student deserves and every parent hopes for. Let's give a round of applause for Ms. Wetzel Middle School's 2025 Teacher of the Year, Mr. Patrick Jennings.
It is an honor to recognize Trinity Smith as the Madison County High School Teacher of the Year. Trinity, if you would please join me at the podium. Trinity is an integral part of MCHS, but especially to our English department, where she teaches and serves as the instructional team leader. It speaks to Trinity's character and commitment to our students that several of her colleagues recommended her to serve in this position. She has worked diligently within her department to establish best practices to help our students and teachers alike be successful both in and out of the classroom. It is not unusual to receive emails from her throughout weekends and holidays, proving that her dedication to her craft does not stop at the end of each school day. She continues to grow herself by attending professional developments and most recently, making a personal decision to take classes to expand the field of her qualifications to be able to teach our dual enrollment English courses. Aside from all of this, she takes the time to form meaningful relationships with her students and can often be seen with several students sitting around her while she tries to do her lunch duty. It is evident that Trinity wants what is best for our students and our school, and we are all so fortunate to work with such a kind and caring colleague. Please join us in a round of applause for Ms. Trinity Smith.
Okay, I now have the pleasure of announcing the Madison County Public School Division Teacher of the Year. This teacher's commitment to student achievement, creativity in the classroom, leadership among staff, and involvement in so many extracurricular activities truly represents the best of Madison County educators. If Patrick Jennings would come forward. Okay, so congratulations again to all of our honorees. Their dedication does not go unnoticed, and tonight is just one small way for us to say thank you to all of our teachers. They're making a lasting impact on the lives of our students and the future of our community. So we're grateful for each and every one of them. So thank you again.
And I just want to say, on behalf of Nita, the chair, and I was thinking about in the military. I was in the military a long, long time, and awards. When you got an award, it was always you always thought that you were receiving it on behalf of all the soldiers you worked with, and I think that's true of teachers too. And so it's kind of a heavy responsibility you all have of being the standard bearers for all the folks in your school, and you've been picked for that reason because you're standard bearers. And so thank you for being that standard bearer that people look up to. It's crucial to have people like that in the building to say that's who I want to be. That's what success looks like. That's what excellence looks like. So thank you for being that standard bearer for your schools. It is really, really deeply appreciated.
Okay, our next award is our school board representative, Riley Gordon. She has been a great representative and let us know the student perspective on all of this stuff, right? So we appreciate you. Ms. Graham, I know you have something for her.
We do. We have a certificate for her and a token of our appreciation. And we just, again, want to say thank you for your insight, for being on the board. It's been a pleasure having you. And we look forward to 4 years from now when we get to have you back as a teacher, we hope. So very good, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for coming.
Perfect time for everybody to run out.
And they're gone. How did she do? We still have a quorum. Okay. I apologize, y'all. Sorry. Chris is going to be sick tomorrow. Oh. Sorry. Okay, our next recognition is Teachers for Tomorrow and Future Educators Academy presentation. Who's coming down? Miss Zanella? Is that right?
I was here last year. It was a pleasure to be here, and I know that they have my PowerPoint on there, so I'm not gonna read it verbatim. But we've grown substantially from last year. Oh, that's there you go. There you go. So and Riley is one of my graduates of DE 1 and 2, so she's got 6 credits. Our course list is listed. Teachers for Tomorrow 1, 2, and then I have DE 1 and 2, and we started this year an intro class. So I have some freshmen and some sophomores that I get to really work very closely with, showing them the things that are expected in the classroom of them. So on there, you'll see that we have, right now we have currently 39 students placed in the primary school, Waverly Yowell, and the middle school. And the list of what they assist with goes on and on, okay? Dual enrollment options for our kids. We have EDU 201 and EDU, so we have 1 and 2. EDU 310, so they graduate, so with 3 credits or 6 credits from Shenandoah University currently. And I have confirmation that most colleges have accepted the credits. Appalachian State, Longwood are just 2 of the ones that I know of that I'm working with those students still from last year. So as I said, I won't read it verbatim because it's there, but I wanted to introduce Charlie too, and Riley. They both took the Parapro Praxis, so they have that certification under their belt. Yep, done. We had 10 students take it and 10 students pass it.
All right.
Right. So an excellent certification to have, to put on their resume. Do you have any, I also included pictures. My kids assist with field day. They assist with, last year was the color run. So much fun. Look at the slide. They did that this year too. They run stations with Mr. Braden, or they assist in their classrooms. Here's just a couple of the pictures of the kids and what they do with those young ladies. If you go back real quick with the pumpkins, they were there at 7 a.m. in the morning to set up the pumpkins for the kindergartners, so that they could have like a pumpkin patch. And I also get the benefit of going and working with students. This year I worked with 3rd grade, 4th grade, math, doing some remediation. I had like a schedule, and then I would go around and also assist with my students. Any questions? Thank you. Yes, it truly is. Thank you. Growing our own. So hopefully, Charlie wants to come back. He wants to be a para. So hopefully those positions, will open up and he can be here in Madison. And Riley too. We know Riley's going to come back in 4 years. Just so you know, Riley gets out at 1:30, but still goes over to the primary school and works with her class. I have, Charlie does too. Charlie goes over to Miss Mack's class and works with his kids. Emily Bartholomew also goes back and works with Miss Dickey's class, and Riley works with Miss Mitchell's class on their own time. So besides having a block with me, they go back at the end of the day and work with those kids too.
Thank you for your hard work.
Right.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you
Okay, thank you all.
Okey doke. Our next agenda item,
It's us.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Good evening. It's so nice to be here in Madison this evening and see all the wonderful awards. So many of those people I've worked with, and it's amazing. They are wonderful educators. And when we were coming in, I leaned over to Fiona and I said, "Remember that reading lesson I showed you? That was Miss Sakovich." So it was really nice that it's coming whole circle here. So I am Mary Beth Artali. I am the coordinator of the Future Educators Academy at Germanna. I have brought with me Fiona. She is one of our students this year. She is from Madison, but going to Germanna in the mornings. Next slide. Thank you. All right, Future Educators Academy is an innovative Virginia college partnership laboratory school. We have several across the state, and Germanna got together with Culpeper, Madison, Orange, and Rappahannock superintendents who said, "Hey, we have a crazy idea, and it's innovative. We want to put students into the community college early, let them concurrently graduate from high school with an associate's in education, go off, finish 2 more years at their 4-year, and come back and teach for us." And Ms. Graham was one of those superintendents who stepped up and said, "This is a great idea." And we jumped on board. There was a grant application that had to go forward to the state, and the state is funding this whole entire program right now. As I said, these students will get a high school diploma and an Associate's of Science in Education at the same time. So when Fiona graduates, she's going to have her Associate's in Education and her high school diploma ready to transfer to a 4-year school. I have been working tirelessly with 4-year institutions to secure some articulation agreements to where our students transfer directly into their schools of education, and they will then complete their 2 years. Usually when you transfer, you have to transfer as a freshman and start over. Our students are going to be going in straight into the College of Education. They won't have that extra step of filling out that application. Then when they finish that, they come back and teach for you. So Fiona's coming back here. She already has that agreement. Oh no, she's high quality. That's our whole point. Next slide. Thank you. So when I say we're successful because of divisions like this, of Madison, of Culpeper, of Orange, and Rappahannock, all working together to support our students. Our division leaders are coming in and working with our students. Kim Adams came in and gave a wonderful professional development to our students about designing your classroom and why that matters, and how you can become a better educator just by developing those relationships with your students. Our students complete practicum hours in their school divisions. So Fiona was here at the middle school with Mr. Coiner, and she is now over at Waverly helping Dr. Reese. They are visiting colleges, and they will also receive a teacher mentor here. So Ms. Adams is working to get Fiona a mentor so that when she comes back, she already has that relationship and someone to develop those conversations with as she begins her first 2 years of teaching. Right now, I have 2 of your students. I have Megan Cross and Fiona. Next year, Aiden Nichols and Lainey Burr will be joining us in the fall. These are some pictures of our orientation, which was one of our biggest aha moments this year. I had started planning, and I said, I need a couple of you to come that night to tell all the new students what it's all about. And they said, oh no, we're coming. And they came as a group. They all wanted to be part of it. So then we were back to the drawing board. I said, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? Several students wanted to talk about their experience. Some students wanted to talk about what it was like a day in FEA. Fiona was able to do that, and she's talked about our Remind app, which we use to communicate. They can get a hold of me quickly, and I'm able to get a hold of them quickly. And the way these students work together, in that picture alone, are 3 students with Megan, where Megan is. Those are 3 students from 3 different divisions. So they're not only learning from Madison, they're learning from Culpeper and Orange and Rapp, and developing those relationships so then when they're teachers and they say, hey, this SOL 1.7, I am struggling, my kids aren't getting it, they can call another school division and say, hey, how are you teaching that? Because I want to do that. My kids aren't doing as well, and I want to do what you're doing. And those cross-division lines are really how we're going to break down those walls and barriers in education. Here's some pictures that we have of things that we have done. Up in the left corner, I had the wonderful opportunity of teaching these students this year in EDU 207, Human Growth and Development, and we were talking about test anxiety. I don't know if you've ever played the game Perfection. Okay, yes, exactly, yes, Mr. Martz. It is one of those games that gives everyone anxiety because the buzzer is ticking and you're trying to get the pieces to fit exactly right and all the pressure. Well, then we all joined around why the people were playing, because that makes the most sense, right? Because that's what it feels like for a student. And we're able to have these conversations of, okay, well, how can we make this better? Well, what if we do it with 2 people? Okay, so that's an accommodation. So we accommodated this student by giving them a partner. And so we're breaking down all the barriers of the learning from just a textbook and those old school ways of hands-on application, so then they can take it into their classrooms. In the middle is our pictures from what they learned with Ms. Adams. They have been to ODU to visit one of their college visits. They are one of our college partnerships so far. Ms. Cross down in the corner, I wanted to add her because she was a parent who wanted to come and speak about how the program has affected Megan. And of course, the governor came, as what Mr. Martz, you were there, Sue, you were there, Kathy and Anna and Tina, all came down to celebrate the opening of our lab school. And it was wonderful. The governor came and spoke. And I think I have one more slide. So what's next for Megan and Fiona? So far, Megan and Fiona showed up at Field Day at MPS. And today they went to Waverly. It was supposed to be Market Day, but they've changed the date. But Patty was able to work with them. Fiona said she spent the day in the library, and it was a good day. They are going to be going on some field trips with Waverly and do Waverly's Field Day. In August, they're going to begin the school year with teachers at Waverly and with Kim Adams going around and learning about the school district. And then they'll be shadowing a Waverly teacher next fall. Do you have anything you want to add? How do you feel about the program so far?
I'm really grateful that I have the opportunity, because I know there's a lot of people that I know that would have been really grateful to also have it. So I'm just really thankful.
Do you have any questions?
How many, do you know how many students from Madison in the academy?
Right now, I have 2.
Just those
I
2?
have Megan and Fiona right now, and coming up next year, 2 more. So I'll have 4 total at a time, 2 juniors, 2 seniors.
Is there a limit on it?
So the way it works is every lab school has to have your cap. So my cap is 30. If I reach 30, I have to use a lottery system that's given by the state. So it's legislation. So right now, we didn't meet that cap. So everyone got in. We have 24 coming next fall for our junior cohort, so we've already grown. But the biggest thing that all of us are excited about is we grew in our male department. We had no males this year. We are going to have 3 next year, and that's huge for us. And I saw you at CC when I was recruiting some students. Yes. Any additional questions?
What, I heard you say ODU. How many colleges are participating?
So ODU is also our fiscal agent, but they are in collaboration with us as our articulation agreement online and in person. We have an articulation agreement with University of Mary Washington, George Mason University, Mary Baldwin. We are working with Radford. We are also working with VCU. And who am I forgetting? We have 8, right? Did I say George Mason? George Mason, UVA Wise, and Longwood is interested. So we're finalizing all of our agreements. My goal was to give them multiple opportunities, because being a successful college student means you fit in at that college and you feel comfortable. So if I just said, this is the one college we're going to use, what if it's too big? What if it's not the right fit? So we were able to make agreements not only in person but also online for those students that can't afford it, because the last 2 years are not free. The first 2 are, the last 2 are not. However, we're working on scholarships, and right now Culpeper actually has a grant that they're able to send their last 2 years. If they want to do it online, they will work in the school system and attend online through a college. So, and we're working on more of those to where they could work here or in some of the other divisions.
Any other questions? Thank you for doing that great work. Good job. Okay, our next agenda item is public comment. We welcome anybody to make public comment and address the board. You can come to the podium, state your name and what part of the county you're from, and let us know what you have for the board. You'll have 3 minutes to share what you'd like to share.
All right, good evening. I'm Russell Myber from Brightwood, and here we are at the close of another school year. And thank you to the entire board for what you've done this year, and I'd be honored to have a word of prayer for you. Our Father, we do thank you for your amazing love. Father, thank you for a good school year. Thank you that you kept everyone safe. Father, you watched over our students, our faculty, our staff, our board, our administrators. Father, I pray that you would continue to do so. Lord, even as now they're preparing for the 25-26 school year and beyond, Father, I pray that you'd give wisdom. Father, help each of us to always remember that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Father, I pray that, Lord, our seniors graduating this year would be what you would have them to be. Father, I pray that each would learn and grow to love you because you are worthy. Father, thank you for this school board that we can trust. They're here because you've placed them, and we thank you for that. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Becky Thompson from Oak Park, and I have a question about the Children's Bible Ministries and release time for religious education. I believe in religious education. I was raised in the church, I was baptized in the church, I was confirmed in the church, and I was married in the church. And when my boys were young, I taught Sunday school for 9 years. But I'm not sure that children should attend religious education classes during school hours. So I remember, I think over the last 2 years, that the board has been very proud that I remember 1/2 of the students in the primary school and 1/2 of the students in the elementary school attend the CBM classes once a month. And I think I remember that classes are held at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock, Mondays through Thursdays, 1 week of the month, but that might have changed. I just don't know what it is now. But what I don't know is if you have any data or statistics from the teachers about how these absences are affecting their teaching and lesson plans. Like if 2 children from a class of 18 are absent once a month, the teacher probably gives them makeup work. But if it happens that 5 children out of a class of 18 are absent for an hour, the teacher probably reads a story to the remaining children instead of teaching them what's in the lesson plan. So I also don't know what are the teachers' experience with the children coming and going 4 afternoons a month. And does this not have an impact on their school schedules, or does it have some impact? Or is it a major disruption to get the kids quieted down again, only to have 2 kids leave the next hour? I just don't know. And I wonder if you would consider doing a survey of primary and elementary teachers to gather more information before thinking about expanding CBM absences to the middle school. The survey could be anonymous with explicit data on how many children are out of class each hour during CBN work and if the teachers have issues adjusting their lesson plans. There will be different issues for children and teachers in middle school, where students change rooms and teachers for every class period. At the primary and elementary schools, teachers can team teach and combine classes if the children attend CBM at the same time, but that probably won't work at the middle school, where children in the same grade are attending different math and English classes at the same time. And I hope that you can get more information on the more complicated middle school schedules before deciding whether or not to approve expanding CBM to the middle school. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the board? We're in pitiful shape up here, y'all. Sorry. Okay, good.
Hi, I'm Nikki Hernandez. I've talked to you guys before. I'm a teacher in Greene County, and I'm just covering the story for the Greene Journal. It's a separate side hustle type thing. And so I have some amazing friends that have dedicated themselves to helping pickleball grow in the community. I remember I mentioned that before. And so I did call Monticello High School's athletic department today, and I spoke with a gentleman named Mr. Coleman who said that there was probably some significant interest in pickleball, and he was highly motivated to get as many students of all different experience levels and athletic abilities to start playing, and no experience obviously is required to play. So we're working on a plan to coordinate something between Greene and Monticello, because there's some interest at the school that I've drummed up with pickleball, and we're just going to see how that goes. If you guys would ever like to participate in something like that, please just let me know. And then the last thing I'll say is that Darden Towel, the pickleball courts in Charlottesville, they allow people to run tournaments if they are considered a nonprofit. So a school, I could connect you to the individual who runs the Seaville Cup, and it's a benefit tournament. And the last tournament, it was just a couple of weekends ago, I think it may be 2 weekends ago, I believe they raised 10 grand at that tournament for a charity. It was a charity that helps handicapped individuals, I think. I wasn't there, I didn't participate in that tournament because I had some other things that I had to do, but they do it every year. It's an annual thing, and I had participated in it the year before. And then the other thing I was gonna say, I forget what it was. But anyway, I have a friend who does lessons and things like that. So if you ever just need me to connect you with the right people to get something like that done, please just let me know. Like I said, we did talk to Monticello High School, and I'm assuming that if they can maybe get maybe 4 to 6 students, we were thinking starting small, nothing major, nothing, massive that's overwhelming or anything like that. Just starting with a small group of students and putting together a nice little event that could be of benefit, not just to the kids, but to the community, and maybe even financially and fiscally conservative and beneficial for the county.
Great.
So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, go. Board members, do you guys have anything to say?
Just a couple comments. We started doing this, kind of letting the board respond, because we wanted to be responsive to the public, and so I appreciate the chance. Pastor, thank you for your faithfulness and your prayers, much appreciated. Ms. Thompson, thank you for your comments. I would just say that I think you said that maybe it's not good for the children, not a good idea for the children to take it. The policy or the letter that we're trying to approve probably next month, doesn't really take a position, just says parents should decide, and if parents can opt in, so if parents want to do it, they're the best judges, I think, of that, not you or I probably, in my estimation. And then I'd also caution us not to minimize the importance of this kind of education. There's a great quote by George Washington said that you can't separate, if you try to separate character and religion, you're gonna fail. And so it's a fantastic quote to keep in mind about the importance of this sort of thing in forming and helping to form character for those parents who wish that. And then last, the complicated. Sure, it's complicated. Sure, it adds complication. But I have lots of confidence in our administrative team that they're able to handle the added complication. And so I don't think it's a showstopper. So that's just my take on the board on those on your thoughts of tonight. And thank you for them. And then for the pickleball thing, I'd recommend Tim Tryon as the athletic director at the high school. Might be a good person to talk to about that idea of some sort of tournament or something. It's a great idea. There are probably some students who would love to. It's a leadership opportunity for them to set that up, and I think he'd be a great person for you to talk to, maybe with the high school principal too, also about setting that up. It's a fantastic initiative, I think. So just recommend him to think about how to do that. So thank you for your comments tonight too.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd also like to, I want to say thank you to Pastor Byler. He has been here encouraging us nearly every single school board meeting, and never wavers from praying for us. And when he prays for this school board, keep in mind he's praying for the benefit of all the children in this school, because our decisions trickle down. So I want to thank you so much for that. I just want to quote the Declaration of Independence here, the second paragraph for Mrs. Thompson, where it says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights." And then I look over at the First Amendment, and Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, it would be wrong for us to tell a parent that they can't enroll their child in a religious program that the parent wants the child enrolled in. So I think we're wholly on the side of the Constitution in that matter, and I commend the CBM for offering that for our students. Thank you.
And just giving some school insight on that, most secondary environments have many ways of accommodating the situations, whether it be a club day, a club period, or interacting with it. And then with those, it doesn't just get an opportunity for lack of a better term, story time. It gives a great opportunity for remediation for kids that need it. A great opportunity for mediation. We do that at CCHS every 2 weeks. And we have 2 religious clubs that meet, along with many others. But kids that need remediation get to stay in the classroom with their teachers, and they get to do extra work. It actually helps a lot of our grade situations. That way our children get a chance to look at co-curricular or extracurricular activities that interest them and build a bond with other teachers and other students they may not see during the day, while it allows other kids to kind of catch up on work, enable in testing, and pass those wonderful SOLs that everybody's greatly concerned with. So there's many ways that can be looked at.
Anybody else have anything? Yeah. I know. I'm trying to minimize how much I talk, so. All right. The next item is screen time in early grades. And I believe our very own Riley Gordon is going to present.
Can you all bring up those the slides on screen?
There we go. Okay.
So, hi, I did my Blue Ridge, Virginia Governor School presentation, my capstone project on
Riley,
how
can
screen
you
use,
talk into the microphone a little more?
on how screen use affects early childhood education. Do that, okay. Next slide. So about me, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Riley Gordon. I'm a senior at Madison County High School. I'm also senior school board representative. But I'm also part of a program called Blue Ridge Virginia Governor School, which allows you to expand in your extracurricular activities as well as your academic pursuits. So this project kind of helped me lean towards the career path that I want to go into in my future by also researching different parts about it that I may or may not have known. So go to the next slide. So for the focus of my project, I focused on the effects of how screen time is used in education and what it does to the child actually using it. So to start my project, I had to define what screen time was and what it meant for my project. And so I used screen time as any time a child was independently using any type of screen or electronic device on their own time. So it didn't count any time a teacher was teaching a lesson using a screen time or any kind of projection. It was just strictly when they were independently using any time electronic device. So going to the next slide. So throughout my research, the major bullet point or the data point that I pulled out was the World Health Organization recommended 60 minutes per day of healthy screen use, which is an hour a day. Anything above that was considered to be unhealthy and had different effects depending on the amount of screen time and what screen time use was doing. So going to the next slide, I'll talk more about that. This slide was the quote that I used to kind of help my research question and what I used to develop different stages of my project. And it was by Meredith Bland. She was like a blogger for different children book and like a mommy help group coordinator. So going to the next slide. So why does it matter? Like I said, there were different effects that screen use caused. I focused on the physical, emotional, and mental, or social, mental, and physical aspects of that. Some barriers that I found that were most prevalent were definitely in the physical category. When students exceeded the 60-minute per day screen time use, they recorded more immobility, a lot more obesity was caused by that. They also had a lot more mental issues, like they weren't able to comprehend the reading group, and a lot of the Lexile levels were going down if they used more screen time because the computers were telling them instead of them trying to figure it out on their own. The social cues were also dropped because they're not having a teacher in front of them and they're not connecting with the teacher's voice. Even like just sound recognition with the teacher's voice, if they don't have that, they're not going to connect with the material enough to understand it. So going to the next slide, I'll explain. So how does excessive screen use affect early childhood education? The main point that I found was most interesting, when children are on screens most of the day, their eye dilation takes about 2 hours to redilate to like a physical intense situation. So when they're on their computers and they're doing their video games or they're learning on some kind of program, their eyes have a hard time adjusting back into like a real life setting. So it takes them longer to comprehend, longer to understand, and longer to like connect with that physical situation. So continuing on to my next research point, I sent out Google Sheets to each of the primary school classrooms, and it was optional. They could fill them out if they wanted to. I just sent it out as a way to kind of gauge how much screen use was being used in each classroom and what purpose they were being used for. So in the screen, you can see each teacher had their name posted. It was a week that they were to record their screen time if they chose to, and then the programs that were used during that time. Some teachers are more willing to do so than others, but it was totally fine because it got me to a point where I could understand better of what was being used and what programs are being used during that time. So you can see that. And then Ms. Graham on the next slide. Ms. Graham sent me this Google Sheet form, which was required for all teachers to fill out, and they ended up reporting more screen time on this than they did on mine, and it actually calculates to be above the actual World Health Organization recommendation. So they actually spent about 10 minutes a little less than 10 minutes over the amount that was recommended by the World Health Organization. And from my previous slides, you can tell that that may come with some harmful effects on their physical, emotional, and social well-beings. So continuing to my next slide, I did my internship with two preschool teachers at the primary school, Miss Estes and Miss Lisa. They were great to work with. I loved them every second of the day. With them, I helped the preschoolers learn to engage in meaningful conversation with their peers, teachers, and any other social connection they had throughout the day. I helped them figure out how to use their words to communicate with their friends, what toys to play with, what colors were, how to socially interact, how to emotionally interact, how to understand their feelings, while also academically teaching them their basic boundaries, like their letters and their numbers and their colors and all the fun stuff that they get to do throughout the day. So going to the next slide. So my community service project kind of finished socially around the fact that I wanted them to spend less time on screen time. And I wanted to do that in a way that would help the teachers, give them another option. So it wouldn't just be cutting out screen time, because I know that's a big part of teachers' day. So I wanted to give teachers another option when I did this. So for my community service project, I actually talked to the high school shop class. They helped me design and create wooden blocks. The picture on the left-hand side on the top is where the finished blocks that they created. I then gathered a group of high school volunteers who helped spray paint the blocks for packing, and the paints were donated by either Cardinal or by community members who actually helped fund the supplies that I needed. But that was a really good event for the high schoolers because it was a screenless event for them, so it kind of helped well round the entire social aspect of that. And then I finished packing the blocks, and I gave them out to every single primary school classroom, including the 2 in the library and 2 in guidance. And then the 2 special education classrooms also got block sets so that they would have opportunities as well. And they were delivered around Christmas time. Ms. Jeanette Alexander is on the slide because she helped me coordinate times with the primary school and helped me kind of get to know Mr. Coyner's schedule, get to know the teacher's schedule. So I had a good time to coordinate times and deliver all the block sets. So going to the next slide, I summarized my professional learning experience in 3 different words: collaboration, consistency, and confidence. And I said collaboration because it helped me personally working with all the teachers and kids. It helped kind of fuel my passion to teach even more. Consistency, I stuck around for an entire semester with my preschoolers, and then I stuck for the entire year with my second graders. And like Ms. Nell said, that was on my own time. But that accumulated me about 149 hours of community service just with this project. And then confidence, it helped build my confidence in the classroom. I feel a lot more comfortable around the kids and know how to kind of engage them in activities and academic endeavors, if you will. Going to the next slide. My community service project, or my community service aspect of this project, I broke down into impact, integrity, and inspiring. The block sets that I created will be used and have a big impact on the school. Not only can they be used as an alternative educational item for the teachers to use, but they're also flexible in different categories and areas in education. So like in the kindergarten pod, they can use them for their color units and their textures and motor skills to build things. And in the second grade unit, when they're doing their geometry lessons, they'll have them for the shapes and the sides and the corners. So I did that purposefully so that they would be incorporated into all the classrooms. The integrity, I had to kind of push back some boundaries and kind of get over some fears of things that I didn't know how to do. And inspiring, I hope that I brought some kind of inspiring to the kids or to my peers or whatever. To my next slide. I sent out a big thank you. My preschool teachers got thank you baskets at the end of the year, or end of the semester, I guess, near Christmas. And then I sent out thank you letters to all the donators, including Cardinal Home Center, for helping me get all the stuff that I needed. And then the block sets went to all the primary school teachers because they deserve all the thanks in the world for what they do. But that was my small little gesture. To the next slide. So what did I learn? Perseverance, purpose, and passion. I'm not going to go completely into that, but definitely fueled my passion to continue to teach, and I will be coming back hopefully because I love this place and I think it's just given me so much opportunity. And I think that without this education system, I wouldn't have wanted to pursue a career in education myself. So I'm very grateful for what Madison has done for me. And to the next slide, this was my advice to other Governor School students who were there watching me on the day of my presentation. But I said to find your passion, because it's a big part of this project. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, then you're not going to want to do it. So definitely have some kind of love for those things. But that is it. Thank you. Yeah, those are my future plans, but we don't need to talk about that. I also brought my board if you wanted to look at it. This is what I did on the presentation day. It's down here if anybody wants to look at it.
I have a question real quick before you get away. From your research and your experience in the classes, what's your thought on your opinion on the difference between the communal, big communal screen up front the teachers use, and individual screens? Do you see a kind of difference in terms of impact and possible negative stuff? What's your thought about it?
So the research that I did, and I think I sent my research paper to you. If a student is having some sort of interaction with a teacher or is having a directed learning experience, they're more likely to collect that information and use it in future establishments or whatever activities than they are to just look at a screen. Because when they're looking at a screen and they're not having a teacher connect with them and tell them you need to do this, that, and the other, and they're learning on their own, it's more of a repetitive pattern than it is a learning skill. It's not so much that their brains are connecting with the material as it is, it's a fun game. I'm going to click A, B, and C because that's what the game is telling me to do. So that is what the biggest aspect that I've learned, the biggest trend that I've seen. Any other questions?
Can we just hire her now?
I was just going to say, Riley,
I mean,
you are the kind of
obviously,
student, you're going to go to college and you're going to learn a lot, but the students enrolled with you are going to learn from you. Like, I can't wait till we hire her back. Like, this is going to be amazing.
That was tremendous.
Okay.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great job.
This is really good work. You don't, I know you're a little bit nervous, but you don't act like you're nervous. Speak clearly. It's really nice. I really appreciate that. I have something that came to mind while you were going through this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm thinking, so we have, I would say over the past, I don't know, say 10 years, maybe more, we've had an increase in discipline issues with students. It's slowly kind of crept in. We've got some issues with some students. And I'm comparing this to my sons at home. I have noticed when they get too much screen time, their reaction in anger is much quicker when there's a problem than when they haven't been dealing with the screens at all. And I'm wondering if that is part of some of the disciplinary problems we have in school today is tied in with that screen time.
Part of my research was to interview a divisional specialist in an area so I interviewed Desiree Van Hooven, and I asked her what was the biggest thing that she's noticed with the screen time going up, or what was the biggest issue that she's noticed. And she said their attention level. Because they're constantly being fed information through a computer screen, and it's instant. It's not a drawn-out plan. It's not taken for weeks at a time to learn a specific category. It may take minutes with them on a computer screen. Their attention spans are really, really short. So when they are in a classroom and they're learning material firsthand by a teacher, it's almost aggravating to them because they're
It's taking
not,
so long?
because it's not quick.
Okay.
So that might be some of the issue with their problems, the classroom, whatever. But I do get the connection there. I do see that.
Well, good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have one question.
Sure.
What do you define as early childhood, pre-K to second grade?
That was what I did for the project, yes.
That is what. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, can we give her an honorary bachelor's degree? Right? I wish I had the power. All right, I'm going to hand this one over to Mr. Wingate. Yep.
I'm gonna relieve Ms. Collier, save her voice. Very brave. Okay, so we're up to release time for religious education. This is information that I propose we vote next month. The information is for us tracking, the public knows, and we're tracking. This is something I've been working on with CBM a little bit over the last year, and they are now ready to expand into the middle school using the same, exactly the same kind of standards, parental opt-in. Same people, same training, same guidelines for keeping the children safe. They've gotten approval to use the Flock Church, which is the little church next to the post office in Pratt, so it's very close, so it minimizes time away. Same transportation piece as they currently use. Really everything the same. The guidelines are all the same, but now I've expanded it into the middle school to give parents that option if they see fit to do so, and I think the numbers of the parents who use it indicates that there's an interest in that. They will, with approval from the board, they would then work with the school to figure out scheduling, et cetera, but ready to start in the school year as it get going. So the letter is there. I certainly am excited to offer that to parents and for those parents who wish that. Any questions on the letter or the intent or anything from the board?
We won't vote on this tonight. We'll vote on it next time.
So if there are any questions, let me know, but I think that is a goal, is then to vote on this next month and to allow them time to work with the middle school on setting this up if it's approved. Okay. That was business information. Now we're up to business approval. And the first item is math textbook adoption. And I think Dr. Jones, you're going to talk to that?
Okay, so is that on? Hello?
There you go.
Are they trade out? Okay, is that better? Okay, so a few months back, maybe January, I let the board know about our math textbook adoption process. You all have slides and they're up. I won't go through everything word by word. I'm going to give you a review. Our committees met at each school. They reviewed all of the sample textbooks, the online versions. They went through everything. They had rubrics. And the committees really emphasized that they wanted to make sure that students had a book in hand, a traditional book. That was an emphasis. They wanted to make sure that whatever they recommended to the board for approval was strongly aligned to our standards, because why wouldn't you want something strongly aligned to what you have to teach every day? So, being aligned means that they can feel confident relying on the textbook and not having to analyze every page. Is this actually what our standards, are saying? So, the textbooks that are being requested for approval this evening were the ones that were most closely aligned to the standards of learning. And they are being adopted by, these are the two most commonly adopted right now, based on the 71 divisions that we are in a consortium with through the CIP education program. These textbooks that we're requesting adoption for tonight are being endorsed by the CIP education program. That consortium did an extensive review as well. So that was very helpful to us this year, and yet another perk of having joined that consortium. So in the slide that you have, the primary school in Waverly are asking for approval for the textbook series called KIDM. And if anybody wants to tonight, I do have samples, hardback samples, just a great big stack over here of books that you could flip through if you would like. I also sent the board members quite a bit of information in an email with the links to the online and all of that. And so then you can flip on through the slides. We had our middle school and high school who also had the same process, and they are requesting to adopt Math Space. In both of these textbooks, the committees like the books for fairly similar reasons, but The books have strong alignment. They have adaptable lessons. They provide presentations that teachers can adapt and edit as needed. So things are done for and will save teachers some time. There are dashboards with professional development and teacher support. Each come with, in person, some professional development that'll come as we adopt and get started using these textbooks, should you approve them. They come with online manipulatives, as well as, we have physical manipulatives in the classrooms. And they come with differentiation for ESL students, students with IEPs, as well as enrichment for students who are perhaps gifted or just advanced in mathematical thinking. And so, you can look through and see what the highlights were, but we feel confident that our committees have made a good decision. And so on behalf of those committees, we're asking for you guys to approve tonight these textbooks for adoption.
Any questions from the board before we vote?
I'm just curious how, regarding Ms. Gordon's recent presentation, how does this align with the amount of screen time? Are these all like physical textbooks?
They're all, they're over here.
It's great.
They're all physical books.
Great.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'd say, just that I discovered today, and I'm happy about that. Whenever I hear about consortiums in education, sometimes when I'm thinking about big places like Northern Virginia or places like that, it makes me a little nervous. But I'm happy that the consortium is a Southwest Virginia consortium, which probably is where we have more in common with, I think, than many times Fairfax and Arlington and things. So I'm happy about that. No other questions? Entertain a motion to approve the math textbooks as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve Kidham, Virginia math for grades K through 5 and math space for grades 6 through algebra 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All not in favor? And the textbooks are approved. All right, next item is the fiscal year 26 budget update, and that is,
So this is not going to be anything to approve tonight. On May 2nd, the governor did finalize the state budget, and the removal of the support cap stayed as is instead of being, we were a little worried about losing around $160,000, but that didn't happen. So the budget you voted on at the moment is staying. We're waiting on the calc tool, which, did they say mid-June now, will come out. So we'll hopefully be bringing you like a final budget with, updated numbers and things to vote on at the June board meeting. But the other thing that was passed is the $1,000 bonus for SOQ funded positions. Since it's only for SOQ funded positions, we're waiting to make sure that it sounds like that we're able to divide it out among non-SOQ funded positions, but we're just waiting for final information. Do you want to say anything else about that? Just what it is, yeah. So that's where we are. So hopefully
Good news.
a final budget coming up next month, but
So
good news.
nothing to vote on.
Right, nothing to vote on.
That's good news. All right. The good news is, though, that we're looking like we're in good shape. All right. The next item is the draft employee code of conduct. Is that you, Anna, to talk about that?
It is. It's what we talked about last time, so everyone had time to look at it one more time if there was any final changes before you approve it, and then we will be making it part of our teacher handbooks and using it for staff training.
Any questions from the board?
No, it looks good.
I think it looks good. As I mentioned before, this was just sort of a, how do you know what you're aiming for if there's nothing there to aim for? So this gives clear cut. This is goals. This is benchmarks, expectations. So
If no other questions, entertain a motion to approve the employee code of conduct.
I make a motion to approve.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the employee code of conduct is approved.
Amen.
And the last one is Title I, Part C, Education of Migratory Children. That you, Anna?
Right, it allows us to be part of the Albemarle Regional Migrant Education Program. So if we have students that fit into this category, they can receive services through that program through the federal title grant.
Any questions? Any strings attached to that, being part of
No,
that? Nothing, no
none.
strings attached?
Just, it's there if someone needs it. And Miss Alexander handles this.
No other questions. Entertain a motion to approve, to continue to participate in the Albemarle Regional Program for the next coming school year as presented.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And it's approved. And the last thing is reports from school board members. So, Mr. Sheeds?
We didn't have a CIP meeting last week, nothing to report. Back to the comment I made earlier, I know Mrs. Thompson is gone, but, something that we really need to make sure children understand as they're coming through schools that the rights that we have came from our Creator, not from a person, not from a government. They can't be taken away. And once we move Creator out of the position, then the next power in line becomes the giver of those rights. And the next power in line for us is our government. So it's an important thing to be teaching the children. That's all.
Thank you. I'll go, two things, just a note, in the last month, sat on the Hall of Fame for the sports, Hall of Fame, stand up for small Hall of Fame thing since the last meeting. Really good participation. Ms. Graham put together a really strong team. I don't know how many people were there, 15 or something like that. Really good, well-rounded, from all ages to give us a good age group. A lot of who's who in Madison athletics over the years. So it was fun to listen to them, and really got a good start. And so we're gonna vote on the first 10 inductees. We're gonna do that this month, for the 10, and then we also decided to do one team, sort of to increase involvement and interest and stuff, and they will then be recognized at a football game this fall and a banquet following. And so we're excited about that. It's an avenue for growing, I think, interest in the community and drawing together, and commend Ms. Graham for bringing this. She did it at Perry McClure, and so it's really a good thing for Madison. So thank you, Ms. Graham, for doing that, and excited about it. And also maybe the potential to raise money for athletic facilities without asking taxpayers to increase their taxes. So excited about that coming. Any questions on the Hall of Fame? Good news story. And second thing, just on screen time stuff, just for the board's awareness, I'm interested in policy to lay out sort of some guidance for the schools on how much screen time is appropriate in the schools. I think we ought to do it in a real in a fashion that involves the leadership of each school. That's they have a say, but definitely interested in some guidance in how we do that. And so I know, Ms. Graham, we talked about making that a study item this summer. And out of that, my hope is to have a policy that we put in place that figures, that says, hey, this is what's appropriate for schools, to try to give guidance to those administrators on how much time we want to spend. Because remember, when we say an hour a day, children are not just in school. I mean, children are going home and on screen. So I think we have to take that into account too as we limit screen. Anyway, just want me to know, people know I'm interested in that, and I think that I would like that to come out of that summer study, a policy of some sort. That's all I have.
We have a prep, we have a prep board meeting Wednesday. So more to come on that. And I attended the Technology Advisory Committee meeting, where we talked a lot about screen time and how to put some policies in place and maybe adopt some technology standards around that. So more to come. I have a lot of information to pass out to you guys. I just don't have it together yet. So we have a lot of resources that we can ping to make sure that we're doing right by kids. That's all I have. Sorry about my voice, y'all.
I'll just make a comment with, we had this amazing walkthrough visiting our schools, which I'll touch on, and it's really unique to see. And I want to start with Mr. Cornerschool over at MPS, which if you are not aware of what's happening in a classroom there or have background education, it can look a little chaotic. But what was really impressive was to see teachers with a small group, a teacher's assistant with another small group, a small amount of screen time or hands-on activity time being used, depending, even Mr. Sheets and I were both in the same batch on that, and watching how they interacted and how well they were transitioning from one piece to another piece was really, really impressive. And your team over there is doing a tremendous job on the use of their material space and kids, and it was awesome to see. And I want to say thank you personally for letting me wander off of the beaten path and go visit places that were not on the list, because that's just what I like to do, and it was awesome. But and then going back, Ms. Wilson, your building as well, same thing, being able to just kind of like, as we were trying to go from one spot to the other, I did wander and saw some great stuff going on classroom-wise, and some tremendous teachers. And again, got stopped and asked who I was and why I was there, and that was even better to have some security pieces going through that. And then Ms. Clore having Clore Taylor, excuse me, old habits, what can I say? Great lunch, great service, great preparation for that class, but also it was awesome being able to walk through the halls and the appropriate language, kids doing what they should be doing, teachers being so welcoming to us as they came in. It was a great treat. Thank you guys for having us into your buildings and letting us be a part of the educational experience. You guys are doing a tremendous job. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
Just kind of piggybacking off of that, I went to the technology meeting too, so you've already got that piece done. The walkthrough was amazing. I just want to shout out to all of our teachers and staff as we approach the end of the school year. Like, I know Mr. Breeden I saw all the pictures from Field Day on Friday, and he does such a great job with that. I know, I went to some band and chorus concerts for the middle school this past week, and they've had their field trips, and I think placed second and third place respectively over at the middle school at Busch Gardens. We've got graduation coming up this Saturday, which I will be a hot, ugly mess, of course. But yeah, just thank you to our teachers and our administrators and everything as we prepare to end out the school year, because, this is a rough time of year, and you guys are doing a phenomenal job with our kids.
And one more thing about the high school, the ability to go through the small engine repair and see a young man who was, he must be running a shop. He was so expressive and personable. He was on point. And yes, I see him quite frequently, but wow, he just owned that place. And then the tractor simulator that we have in our building to help kids get certified, that I didn't even know was a part of our agricultural shop, was great. It was an awesome tour. Thank you so much. Wanted to just make sure to put that plug in for CTE. They're doing a great job.
I'm going to piggyback off that one too, because I ran into Reagan at Food Lion where he works yesterday, and it was just that same high level of professionalism and yeah, we know these people for forever, but it's kind of neat to watch it spread from the classroom. That's it. I'm done.
I just want to say thank you to the board. You guys have been great. I've loved working with you guys, love being here. I think it's been a fantastic opportunity. All the teachers have been great. I love working with Miss Anella, being in her classroom, all the primary school teachers that I've worked with. It's really, again, fueled my passion to come back and teach, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. It's gone, y'all. Thank you, Riley, for being here. And Dr. Jones, she's got a spot.
I think they're already working out a contract.
So, yeah, figure that out. So, yeah, we can't wait.
Last, I just want to say thank you again for another 4-year contract. There's no other place I would ever want to work. I have the best coworkers ever, and we have the best students here. It's fun to work with the board as well. So thank you again for that, and it's time to get busy for another 4 years. As far as screen time goes, the admin team, we met, is today just Monday? Was that just this morning? Oh my gosh. So this morning, we talked about our retreat that's coming up at the end of the month. So we're going to be discussing screen time. And then I think for this, we probably need to get out a parent survey over the summer to get some feedback as well. So we'll be able to report back to you all come like June, July. Well, more closer to July, I would think. And then really good news for the CTE. Ms. Taylor and Ms. Paramore wrote an innovative CTE equipment grant. The state had $600,000 to give out to 16 schools, and they were one of the schools that got it. So they're using it for a plasma table, CNC machine, drones for the ag class, and then smart tech irrigation controller for the greenhouse, so they don't have to come out in the summer. So it's a $37,500 grant. So that's really great. So congratulations to them. And then the other thing today, 2 CT things, we finalized and signed the K-Tech agreement so that through the Perkins grant, we'll pay for it. Our students will be able to go down there to Charlottesville if they're interested in emergency medical technician or firefighting. So that's really great, really good opportunity for our kids. So thank you to the high school for that. And that is all.